All right, so we've been keeping a little bit of a secret here. This Donald property actually already has a shop on it, so we'll be able to build the next 4 trucks right here in this shop, where we're building the new shop over there. So why don't we do a little tour? We'll check out the plans and show you the shop. Behind us here is the shop that came with the property. This used to be the old truck mechanic shop back when it was a sawmill in the day, and she's in pretty rough shape, but it's well worn. We've been kind of cleaning it out the last few days. It had just a ton of old stuff in here, but we've been cleaning it out. We're getting ready for some painting. One of the most important things now that the guys are getting here, because we don't have those tiny homes set up, we've needed something for a washroom. So it had an old toilet. It didn't work. The water was disconnected. Water lines were actually broken. So we repaired some water lines, repainted the bathroom, cleaned it out. And now with the new toilet, can have a morning shit. Honestly, that's been a really nice thing. Like for the last week we've been living out here, we've had no washroom. We got a new hot water tank right there. The electrician is coming to hook that up tomorrow. All right, this is huge today. Electrician came out, got the old hot water tank hooked up here, which means that the shower is now operational. The guys can have a shower. Got the hot water set up on the sink. You can have a shave. And the electrician ran a 240 plug, so now we got our washer and dryer going. So get her squared away in here, tightened up, but now at the end of the day, guy can have a shower, shave, do his laundry, use the shitter. Urinal's also going too, so starting to feel more like a home. It's gonna make a huge difference in the quality of life, because you've seen us, we're all living in that tiny little office building. For 4 of us, for dudes, we need to be able to have a shower here. So once we finish cleaning out all this stuff, we'll get all our stuff squared away, start filing our parts into the parts room for the old mill parts can come out. We got an old office space, so literally it's got paperwork from the 1980s for when the mill closed down. We'll get that cleaned out, get her done. This will be set up. The engineers want this as a test area. Basically, they want to lay this spot out as a test bench. They can work on their wiring, everything else. Once I get this old stuff out, get out here, get it clean, fresh coat of paint, and then we will be able to build the trucks that we're currently working on in Merritt in the shop. We'll bring those trucks in here where we can start building them as a cab and chassis. As well, we have the next bay over here. Literally old sawmill equipment in here. And we got this bay here, which was for the old Laterno log loader. That's why it's so tall, but we can fit another 2 trucks here. So at the very least, we can get 4 trucks on the go. So we'll do the Royal truck, the International, the Undisclosed truck, and the MCon snowplow will be getting built in here so that we can continue working production-wise while we're building the new shop, which will be right outside of these doors. If you have a look behind Peter there, that's where the new shop is gonna be. Eventually, at some point, this will be a service shop. We can do repairs, maintenance in this shop while we do production in the big shop that's going right there. So it's a natural building. It's got good bones. It's even got a brand new roof that was put on it just a year ago. Like this, this was a good building. It still is a good building. So we're definitely gonna put this into use, put it in production. The log yard was using it before, so we didn't want to show it off because, well, they're worried about people leaving it unattended. Now that we are living full-time in the shop, I mean, literally, the engineers are living right there. So we got someone watching the shop, so I feel comfortable now showing this off. Travis has got his stuff out for the most part, so this will be our production shop for the summer. Another building we haven't shown off yet is the old Powerhouse. It's got good bones, like the main structure is good, needs a little patchwork on the roof, but it is a building with good bones. So like, what do we do with it? Like, we could turn this into a little paint bay or a wash bay. It's got the drainage, it's got the big doors. You could always, yeah, turn it into a wash bay, a paint booth where we could roll things in here. paint the cabin chassis, and then it goes directly to the mill, which is right over there for the truck shop. So as far as buildings go, it's not a bad one to have, because that's right where we'll be. That's that shop we just did a tour of over there. So paint over here, bring it over there, assemble it, and then your paint fumes and all that. You can put a real proper ventilation system without worrying. We may just put a pin in this for a while. It's here, it's something. It's got a good concrete pad. It's got good supports. We don't have the time or work right now to fix it up, but we'll do something with it in the future. If you got an idea on what we should do with it, let us know in the comments. Well, let's go check upstairs now. Behind me here, we got an old steam boiler. Being told that it was from an old CP, Canadian Pacific Railway boiler. So basically took an old steam locomotive when they were done with it, took the tank off, the main boiler off, and set it in here and use it for steam for the buildings. Now it's been plumbed in for the mill. We come this way, we got water tanks. Back that way, there's 2 huge water tanks. For reference, you can see CP still going by with another train load of containers. So back in the day, you got an old steam locomotive, they're decommissioning, they're going to diesel electric. Well, what do you do with an old steam locomotive boiler? You cut her off, separate her over, bring her over here, use it for steam power for all your milling equipment. So now, question is, what do we do with an old boiler? Like, it's too cool of a piece of history to just abandon to rot. So in here, we got all those fire hydrants all over the property. This was the main water suppression system. So it comes from a big pond, and then there's another big well. This electric motor here drives the pump that feeds the fire hydrant. And if you come over onto this side, in case you lost electrical power in an emergency, you would also have this gas powered. It probably needs a little work. So one of the things we are doing to save cost when we're building these cabins and we're doing everything, we're using a lot of the old wood sidings. Like, basically the siding of the old warehouse was all this nice tongue and groove stuff. So what we're doing is we're just gonna take it off the wall here, we'll run it up, and that'll make a nice accent wall in all the cabins, and it doesn't cost us a thing. So we figured we'd make it official. You know, we have the property, might as well take the for sale sign down here. Came down with a chainsaw to cut her down, and these steel beams.
Yeah, I don't think we're not cutting that down.
No, that might be a little much, but
I think we can make a positive out of this. Now we got our own billboard.
Yeah, hidden behind some trees, but we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll just take the trees down in front.
Advertise for ourselves.
I wonder what's behind it. Like, what did this used to be?
What? Keep pulling. Something residential golf course. It's for sale.
We got rid of one for sale sign. The next
We got
for
a
sale
new one.
sign.
It's a way nicer one. Now it's even more obvious. This doesn't be hard. It's hold on by that board up top of that.
Should I just come down here with the loader? Oh, we got the sign out. Fuck. That's gone. In probably the most destructive way possible, we did get the for sale sign down. They were committed. Like 3/4 inch bolts, 12-inch I-beam. Like, I don't even know how that's in there. We'll have to get Spencer to come back with the excavator, dig it out, scrape it up. Like, it's a good sign. But like even trying to pull on it, we're breaking the steel welds before we're actually lifting this thing out of the ground. If that machine can't do it, we need the excavator. But at least people know that it is not for sale anymore. Another cool thing we're doing is for the siding, you know, we're using that reclaim for the accent wall. We got tongue and groove for the rest of the siding here, which is made right over there. So we're sourcing that lumber that's on the property. A lot of you guys in the comments saying, hey, you got that ability. Well, Travis running that mill there is able to take it, put it into the dry kiln, chop it down, groove it out for us, and then we'll take it up, load it up, take it over to the cabins, put it on the wall. So we're using locally available material from reclaimed lumber to locally produced tongue and groove to build our cabins, and we're keeping our costs down that way. So this building right here was already pre-made, so we went ahead and got this. We got that reclaimed timber down there that we're cutting up. We've got the tongue and groove we just brought up on the flat deck. And the idea of this cabin was that it exists as a third space. That's a concept of 3 spaces. First space that a person has is their work. Second space is their home. Third space is a spot for everyone to get together away from those two and hang out. So all the guys can come here at the end of the day, have a drink, unwind, kind of relax a little bit. This is where we're using that reclaimed tongue and groove, the siding off the old warehouse for that accent wall. That new tongue and groove on the back of the truck is gonna go up here. This building was cool. It was already pre-made. We didn't have to wait for it, so we just brought it out site, set it up here, getting it plumbed in, set up. One of the awesome things about our Donald property is that we have this log reload yard behind us that you see here. So basically we rent our property out to these guys who use it to reload logging trucks, and we use that income that comes from our own property to help pay some of the wages for our engineering and our R&D staff. Anyways, Tom here is going to walk you through how a log yard reload works.
My name is Tom Campbell. I'm a local of Golden since I was born. I am log loader operator for Kim Basket Resources here in Donald. And this here is a sort yard. So what this sort yard is we Downey Timber or Gormans, they buy local wood or sometimes out of Alberta and such. That it's too far to make the journey all the way over to Kelowna and other places. So we get these loads here and then we separate them all. And then when it's time, the 2 different mills, sometimes 3, they will call us and we will give them what they want, basically. So each mill will take a different species of wood. So this is cedar, and this is going to Revelstoke. Some of the things you're watching for as you're loading your trucks, you gotta make sure, well, especially with long logs, you don't have anything broken in the middle. Like look at this, you don't want to put that in the load, that'll fall apart and just make a mess. So unfortunately, sometimes they fall apart when your multiple machines have been handling these things. So you don't want to have anything falling apart, falling through the bottom, any debris, loose debris and such. You want to make sure when you load it that you don't have any objects could fall off the top and strike the truck driver while he's wrapping his load or unwrapping his load. Basically, your job is to make it safe to go down the highway. So in BC, there's lots of forest fires. Obviously, everybody knows that. And whenever they get a chance, they will try to harvest as much as they can because it's still good wood. Yes, it's burnt and scorched. Even if it's gotten really hot, there's still different applications for it. So they try to utilize it the best they can. We're doing that right here too. We're gonna load Pat with some fur from the Parson fire that was pretty devastating for a lot of locals there. Some houses were lost and things like that, and it was threatening town last year. So it's good to see that wood going somewhere right off the bat and turning into hopefully houses and things.
We are now building the pad for the new shop. Dozer's going. We got an old Terex loader going. We're putting the new houses in today. So I'm thinking right there is a good spot for a house because there'll be a bit of privacy. Today, we're gonna be doing some water testing on the wells. We got 12 wells all across this property. There was testing done on it, but it was about 10, 15 years ago. It said that they were all good, but I would like to just double check, especially the ones that the guys are gonna be drinking up here, just to make sure that they're still safe to drink. So I'll collect this, we'll fill these up, we'll get them to the lab in town, and they'll let us know whether we still have clean drinking water up here or not. I wish there was more specific instructions. I hope I'm doing this right. And also definitely don't want to screw it up, because if we did and I got contamination or did it wrong and then we got the wrong, it either says it's good and it's not, or more than likely says it's contaminated and it isn't. So this test costs about $300-400. In my mind, that's worth it to make sure we got clean drinking water. But I got to get this in there as fast as we can, because one of the things they're testing for is like bacteria and that in the water. So they don't want to say, don't let it sit out in the sun, because that'll just breed the bacteria and you may have higher levels than you're supposed to. So got to get it in there, get it into town, and they'll get it tested. All right, water sample.
So what we'll do now is we'll take the sample into Calgary. There's a filtration company that will test all your samples for bacteria, rust, sediment, whatever's in your water. They will send it to our equipment manufacturer, who is then going to give us a list of what will do best for equipment to install for you. Filter all the stuff in your water, bacteria, iron, there's sediment, all that good stuff out there. And then what they'll do is they'll provide us a list of that equipment, and we'll give you $1 on how much it'll cost. And
sounds good. Right on. Thanks. Welcome to the office. We got her installed in site. We're putting up some insulation in here. This is going to be more of an office space to work in, but for right now, we needed a space to camp out. So we got Ray sleeping here. I'm sleeping right there. Darren gets this whole side of the office to himself, but it works. It got us here on site, got us to be able to live here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get similar houses to this. So they're gonna be a little bit more upgraded, a little bit more insulation, a little bit thicker. But what we're doing is we're ordering these tiny houses from the same guys, and they're gonna be for the employee accommodations. We'll get them all sorted in there. They'll be just a little bit bigger than this. I think they're an extra 6 feet longer. They're not gonna have this middle section, but you guys were worried that we're gonna be building these big, extravagant cabins. We're not. These things were $14,000. Like this one was $9,000 because it's a little bit smaller. The employee housing with the upgraded insulation, upgraded windows are about $14,000. We'll pick those up over the next month and a half. We'll bring those to site. We'll plumb them in with the washroom, the septic, put on the siding, and then we have housing for employees this summer. It's gonna be cool.